Hello, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Sophie. Sorry, I'm squeaking on my chair. And today I thought we could have an end of year books chat, because at the beginning of the year I did quite a few book type videos, and I thought it would be interesting to see kind of where I've got to with reading and kind of what my TBR list looks like now and all those kind of things. So if you're interested in books and book chats, carry on watching. I've taken screenshots of my video descriptions because I very helpfully to myself wrote out links to all the books and stuff that I have talked about in those videos. So I did a video on my 2023 TBR, and then I also did a book call at the beginning of the year. So I thought I would tell you about my TBR. So I'm going to go through and tell you what I've read and what I haven't read. So my first thing on my TBR was the Harry Potter series. Now, I started reading that at the beginning of last year, and I think I finished books 4, 5, 6 and 7 this year. So yeah, I did quite well with reading the Harry Potter series. The next two were also Harry Potter coded. There was The Cursed Child and Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton. Now, I own The Cursed Child, and I bought in this haul that I'm about to talk about, Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton. Haven't read either of them yet. So yes. There was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I haven't read yet. This Is Going to Hurt, which I also own but haven't read yet. Then I went into the classics, and I went Northanger Abbey, Mansfield Park, Persuasion, Little Women and Jane Eyre, none of which I read. Oh, and there's Romeo and Juliet on this list. I didn't read any of those this year. I did not read Where the Crawdads Sing. And then I come on to some more self-help type business books. So there was Atomic Habits. Now, I struggled really reading Atomic Habits, so I did start it. I think I got to about halfway and it just wasn't clicking with me. So I'm gonna probably try and read it again next year maybe, because I know it's such a popular book and I really want to try and finish it. But I stopped reading it to try and kind of get out of that slump. So yes, we will have to see. But I did try and start reading it. And then the last two were The 4-Hour Workweek and 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I didn't read either of those because I kind of got so stuck on the self-help book of Atomic Habits that I was then like, I don't really feel like any more self-help books. Let me just look at what my book haul had in February. So I said about Tom Felton's book, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo I picked up. My mum brought me a Little Women copy. I think it was that my birthday, Mum? Or did you just get that for me?
I think we just got it.
Okay. Mum just got me a nice present of Little Women. It's a really beautiful edition, so yeah. There was Atomic Habits, which I bought, which I talked about. Daisy Jones and the Six, which I got but didn't read. Bridgerton, The Duke and I did read this book, did not like it. I like Bridgerton, the TV series, the Netflix show. Really enjoyed Bridgerton, but did not click with the book personally. Stardust I picked up, and I did read Stardust. I also struggled a bit because I really love the film, and usually I'm the kind of person who would read a book and then watch an adaptation, but with Stardust I've been watching it since it came out in, I think it's like 2007 or something, so I was fairly young, and yeah, I just hadn't read the book yet. But now I've read the book, I can kind of see how they've kind of made the adaptation, but I think I do prefer the film. Sorry. I also bought Agatha Christie and Then There Were None, and a Court of Thorn and Roses. I have read A Court of Thorn and Roses and I enjoyed it, but okay, let me open my Goodreads app. So people are really evangelical about A Court of Thorn and Roses. Like, people really like it. I liked it, but not that much. Like, I think I gave it 3 stars, and yeah, I guess it's a bit spicy in places, and that isn't really what I'm looking for in books. Oh, my dog is yawning. She didn't like it. But I'm interested enough that I'm now reading the sequel, which is A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm about 2 chapters in, and I've looked at it and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to finish this by the end of the year, which is why I'm making this video now, because I know that I won't read any more books by the end of the year. So that brings me on to Goodreads. So I want to look at my reading challenge. So I think I've actually talked about every single book I've read this year. So my goal was to read 12 books, 1 per month. At the time, I thought this was quite a realistic goal, because I thought a month is quite a long time to be able to read a book. But what I didn't really take into account is the fact that I'd been on a reading slump for literally years. I hadn't read that much, and going from not reading anything to trying to force yourself to be disciplined enough to read a book a month was quite a challenge, and it was not one that I was able to meet. So I read 7 books this year. So I read the 4 Harry Potters, the Bridgerton book 1, Stardust, and A Court of Thorn and Roses series, the first book in the series. So even if I finish the book that I'm reading now, the second one, that will take me to 8 books, so I will be 4 short of my goal. Now, I'm not disappointed, actually. I would have thought that I'd feel a bit sadder about that I didn't meet my goal, but I'm actually really happy because I've started reading again, and yeah, I just feel really proud of myself for getting out of that slump. So especially as during the year I had that Atomic Habits slump as well, so I think that had a huge impact, to be honest. I think if I hadn't have read that book and I just stuck to fiction, I think I would have been a lot further through my TBR and stuff, but because I got stuck on that book, it really had an impact on how I felt about reading for like months again. So I think what I'm going to take away from this is that if I do start reading a book and I start to feel the slump, maybe to abandon it, because I hate abandoning stuff and it makes me feel awful. But I think you can tell when the vibe of a book is not matching the vibe of you, I guess. So I think I'm going to listen to myself a bit more and just see what works for me, I think. So yes, for next year I'm going to plan to read 12 books again, just because I think 12 is quite a good number, being 1 a month, and I think I've had the practice almost run of this year, and I think is there 5 books in the Court of Thorn and Roses series, so that's 4 books already that I should be able to read, and then I've got plenty of books lying around the house which need reading. So yeah, I shouldn't need to do a book haul, but that might happen as well. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my little book chat, and I will see you again next time for another video. Bye!